Hey guys, it's your girl Mo. Today we're gonna be doing a makeup tutorial requested by a lot of people. So let's get started. Okay guys, first things first is moisturize. So I use Cetaphil, Lovely Cetaphil, body and face. I'm just rubbing this all in. If you're wondering my skin type, it is combo. So mainly my T-zone, which is right here down to right here, and my eyelids are oily. The rest is dry. It's stressful. This is great for it. If you have combo skin, I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend it for dry skin as well, because as you can see, you cannot see my pores or nothing. It's just, so pretty. So the first makeup step that I do in my routine is the brows. I use a Brow Ultra Slim. I use a lighter shade. As you can see, my eyebrows are a little bit lighter. So here we go. So when I start underneath. And I take it about to halfway, like right there, and I don't do any more. And I start at the top. That just looks really nice. And listen, eyebrows are supposed to be sisters and not twins. And yes, they have to be friends. So they don't have to match. I'm literally just following my eyebrow shape, and that's it. Period. Next step is concealer. I use the Infallible. I'm assuming that's how you say it, Infallible. We gonna keep it at Infallible. L'Oreal. Full wear. It is full coverage, so it's really hard to get off, and that's the only problem that I have. But what I do is I dot, 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 boom, boom, boom. I kind of look something like off of Avatar. Anyways, I probably have the absolute lightest shade because I'm really white. It's serious.
I'm really white.
I take a flat brush. Any flat brush is fine. This one is Tuscan Hills. So I'm gonna start this way, and I'm going to move right underneath my brow. So you see how I have it underneath my brow and the rest is like still there. I'm gonna take my brush, instead of keeping it this way, I'm going to rotate it like this, and I'm just going to drag it back. Okay, once I've dragged it back, I just start blending it down like so. I take a little brush like this, whatever brush that you have, whatever brush really works. Whatever brush really works, it don't matter. And I just take this brush, and I also use this for my powder for my eyes. So I take the brush and I just kind of blend out the rest into my eyelid at the bottom. And I feel like the best way to blend it is like down. I'm kind of doing diagonal and down, but y'all see how nice I look? Now, I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna take my concealer, and I'm going to dot right above it. But you don't wanna put too much up there. Well, really, I don't put too much up there because right above my eyebrow is kind of dry. So it'll start looking flaky if I just pack on the concealer and just be extra with it.
Pack on the concealer.
Anyways, I keep it light. That's where the moisturizer comes in, is it don't do that, but just a fair warning. And I just go right along my brow on the top. And then I just blend up, kind of sideways. And then I just cut that. And then I take my brush again and just blend it back out. The key to makeup is blending. I feel like once you have blending mastered, you can really do it, honestly. I think that's really it. There is your result for the brow. And then we're just gonna do the other brow the same. Brows on point. The next step I'm gonna be doing is eyeshadow. I do my eyebrows, eyeshadow, and then foundation, and then lips, because every time you do eyeshadow, it'll like flake, cause little particles under here, and it just messes your foundation up, and it's not fun. So I will be using this color, this orange right here, and I'm just gonna start on my eyelid. And I'm gonna keep going back and forth. I want this orange to be bright as possible. So I take it up to right about here. I don't go any further than this. So as you can see, this is where we're at. And now the yellow I'm gonna use is the Body Shop. It's very, very bright. Excuse my child. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna start right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this same brush and I'm gonna wipe it off, and I'm just gonna blend. If y'all see right here, it's uneven, and we're just gonna blend this in the corner just a little bit more. So I'm gonna just blend this downwards. And I'm not blending hard, I'm not touching it hard. I'm just kind of lightly blending it. Okay, so now we're here. My lovely little one, Sunset. And now I'm just gonna do the same thing I did here to the other side. And voila, there you have it. Now we have both eyes done. Now it's time for eyeliner, which is like the worst part, honestly. I'm not even gonna express how hard eyeliner is to do, especially with the eyeliner that I have. So I have Mega Liner by Wet n Wild, and when I bought it, I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be thin. I think that's perfect. And I highly advise to get a thicker one if you have hooded eyes, just because thin is just really, really hard to work with. So when doing eyeliner, I always start from where my eye meets right here, and I just bring it up. So I bring it like this. And then I'm gonna take where it meets right here. And it will look something like this, like a ball. It looks really weird. So what I do is I take from the middle and I just bring it out. And I'm gonna take from here and I'm just gonna drag it over. I just find this method easier. I do have hooded eyes, so it's a little harder. And then I just do the top and bring it like that. And as y'all can see, it's a little bumpy. So I'm just gonna take from here one more time and drag it to the front. And I feel like this is the best way with my eye shape. I have almond eyes, that it works this way the best. And now I'm just gonna be doing my other eye. So now we're going to be doing mascara and then lashes. So the mascara that I'm using is Scandal Eyes. My eyelashes are actually really long, but because they're blonde, it's really hard to see. So we're gonna apply this. So it's a curved brush, and I'll be putting all of the products that I use in the comments so everybody will know. So I just take the mascara. It honestly doesn't matter how you apply the mascara. You just don't want, well, especially people with blonde eyelashes like me, don't want your eyelashes to be showing because people cannot know the secret. And I'll be taking my lovely lash. I use the Duo Glue. So what I do is I take a little bit and I put it along the seam. You put it along the seam of your eye and then you put it on the eyelash. You don't have to do this. You could either put it on your eye or you can put it on the eyelash, whatever works for you. I just do this because it just stays on a lot better. I take my eyelash and as I bend it like this and kind of do this with it and I blow on it. And you want to keep doing that until it gets tacky. That's the best time to put it on, but don't wait too long because then it's just not going to stick. And I don't use a special tool. I use my fingers. We not fancy around here. I take it, I face it towards me. If you can see my hand rotating, I face it like this. And I just like stack it on there. Make sure it sticks. So I got this part applied. Now I want to get the corner. And now you're just kind of putting it on. Does anybody else make weird faces when they be putting on lashes and stuff? You'd be like, y'all excuse the TV in the background because my child is here. Daddy is at work right now, So now I'm just kind of brushing it down like that with my finger so that it blends well. And y'all can still see the glue, but once it's done drying, it will not be there no more. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the other eye. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Holy God. Okay, as you can see, eyelashes are done. Now it is time to put on my face. For the foundation, I use Super Stay Full Coverage. Everything that I use is full coverage. No, I do not have acne. No, I do not have bumps. So yes, this is all my real skin, but I use full coverage just because it look nice. So this is 24 Hours Maybelline. The color is Fair Ivory. So I take my foundation and I put it on a brush, just a nice brush, cake it on there. And I just take the brush and I streak it down. And I do cover my lips because I like a full nude base. I feel like every artist starts off that way, right? So anyways, I'm just taking it. I don't go like directly under my eyes. I just kind of leave a little room for concealer. Gonna cover my tattoo. You're welcome, Grandma. Now I'm gonna be taking it like this. Just cause, like I said, they cannot know the secrets of how we cake our face without making it look cakey. That's the key. So my next step is I'm gonna take my beauty blender and all these little streaks, I'm just going to blend it out. I slightly get my beauty blender wet just because it picks up the extra and it spreads better that way. So then I start working it underneath my eyes. I squeeze it like this so it makes it easier to go underneath. And it's okay if you do not get it directly underneath your eye because we will be doing concealer. So I'm just kind of like brushing this up onto my edges. And now I'm blending it out. I always blend it kind of back here because they don't want to just see it straight lines. Like I said, I blend a lot because blending is key. Okay, now that I have my base established, now it is time for concealer. I use the same concealer I did for my eyebrows. This concealer I feel like lasts a long time. I ordered it like probably a month ago and it doesn't even look like it's been used. So I take my brush and I just kind of work underneath my eye and I just kind of wipe it out. Now with my eyeliner, this is also key. I'm gonna take it right underneath. I'm gonna go like that. It's not touching the bottom, so don't do that part yet. Not with this at least. Do the same with this side. And now I'm gonna take this lovely brush. It's like angled. It's perfect for this. And I'm gonna take it sideways like this, and I'm just going to blot and dab, and I kind of pull my face down and I get like all up underneath my eye. And yes, it does get in my eye, but beauty is pain. So I'm gonna blend it just like that. It's not fully blended yet. We're gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna take the flat brush that I used for underneath my eyebrows, and I'm gonna go directly underneath. Now I'm gonna take my regular foundation blender brush, and I'm going to blend the bottom into the foundation and the side just up, just to where it's even. Okay, so now we have this. The next step is going to be contour. So for my contour, I use a powder and I use the stick. So I use the Smashbox Step by Step contour stick. It's pretty worn down, but we're gonna manage. So I'm gonna take it along these parts of my face, draw it. You don't even have to do this part. You can do the regular contouring powder. This just kind of gives me a outline. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. I'm gonna do my nose. I feel like with all nose types, it's different how you contour, depending on what your nose is, but this is how my nose looks. And this is how I'm gonna contour. And then I do that spot. Okay, I'm gonna take my foundation blender and I'm just going to blend it. Okay, so now I have it contoured like this. I usually save my nose for last, so don't just ignore this. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take my contour palette. It is broken because my baby girl dropped it on the ground. Wet n Wild contouring palette. Honestly, it doesn't matter what contour you use. I use kind of a more reddish oranges just because of my skin tone, and y'all could honestly use whatever color y'all wanted to. So for my contour, I'm going to take an angled brush like this, contour brush. I'm going to dab it on there, get it all good. And I'm going to blow, get all the excess. And I'm going to start with the angle, and I'm just going to kind of follow along my cheekbone. And I'm gonna go along here. Yeah, my hair is gonna get in the way. My hair kind of has like foundation and all types of stuff in it. And with my contour brush, I'm gonna try to blend it out as much as possible. It just makes things easy. Okay, so this is where I'm at. You can see my faces are uneven with the color. I'm gonna take a brush, big brush, and I'm just gonna kind of blend it out. Does anybody else do the bubble trick? Now I'm going to take a brush, something nice and small. It's gonna be to blend out my nose. And we're gonna start from the top. I just kind of blend it out. As you can see, my nose is a little dark, so I take my blender and I just drag it down. And the next step that I'm gonna do is highlight. Also Wet n Wild. I take a circular brush And I just kind of work it on there. I like popping. And I just realized that I did not blend right here. There we go. So with my nose, when I put the highlight, I put it on my finger. I feel like it goes on better. I'm sorry. Let me switch fingers. And I take right here. Now I'm gonna take, it really doesn't matter what kind of brush it is. This is an angled brush. And I'm gonna go along my eyebrow. Now the next step is my lips. I'm gonna take a baby wipe and I'm just going to wipe all this. Now I have a clear palette now. I'm gonna take the same color that I used for the yellow. I'm gonna take my brush. I just got my lips a little wet, so if y'all need to do that, that's cool. I just don't like the crusty look. It's a little yellow pigmented, so now I'm going to take some concealer. So I'm gonna take the yellow again. So now I'm gonna take my brow pencil. I know this is crazy. You're like, oh my God, it's unsanitary. But guess what? It's my face. I'm gonna do what I want. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go like a lip liner. So now that I have outlined it, I'm going to take a reddish color. Also on the Perfect Filter. And I'm gonna take this color right here and I'm gonna mix a little bit of orange with it. I'm gonna outline. And the reason why I did that dark outline with the pencil is just so I can have my shape. So now that I have my lips lined, I'm gonna take that same color red and I'm just gonna kind of blend it downwards. Okay, now I have my lips lined. And the last step. Can anybody guess? Gloss. You right, girl. You right. Where my gloss at? So you guys, this is the final look. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If y'all could like, subscribe. I love feedback. I love interaction. Let me know how I did. And there will be a new video coming soon. Thanks, guys.